Hey guys, Alex back here again. I'm very excited to see you. And in this video, you will learn the 4 specific techniques on how to improve your pronunciation score. So stay tuned. So we get a lot of messages on Facebook, on YouTube, through email, on WhatsApp, and oftentimes people struggle with their score in their speaking section, mostly because of a really low pronunciation score. And because of their pronunciation score, as you know, all the sections are connected. So if you fail your speaking, it's going to affect your speaking, but it will also affect your reading and your listening sections. Because questions like read aloud give you marks in reading as well. Questions like repeat sentences and retell lecture and answer short questions contribute to your listening as well. Meaning if you fail your speaking, you're gonna definitely or very highly probably fail the other 2 sections as well. Now, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do, the 4 specific hands-on applicable techniques that you can use to improve your score. So how is it possible that my pronunciation is only 40 or 42, but I'm still able to get 18 each in the speaking section? This is what I'm going to explain to you right now. Now, before you watch any further, I want to separate the 2 categories of people. If, let's say, your pronunciation is 60 or 65, let's just cut it off at 50. If your pronunciation is 50 or above, this is a good enough score to pass your exam. You don't need to worry about your pronunciation. Maybe you need to worry about the content of some of your questions, like your read aloud, like your repeat sentence, but there's nothing necessarily wrong with the way you speak or with your voice specifically. So who is this video for? This video is for those people that have an issue with their voice. Or you don't necessarily have an issue with your voice, but there is an issue between how you speak and how the computer picks up your voice. Meaning something doesn't match, and even though you're speaking loud and clear, you're getting a very low pronunciation score. Before we go any further, I want to mention a few things. So obviously we do a lot of research. We search if there's any other better techniques that we can suggest to you guys that we can help you out with. And to this date, I haven't found specifically for PTE, a particular video to improve your pronunciation. So why am I saying this? If you're watching this video and you see other videos as well, you should know that today is the 20th or 19th? 19th of May 2020, and I haven't seen any of these videos, anything presented in this way yet. So if you see other videos, it could be a copycat, it could be somebody else that's imitating this, but check the dates especially. And the most important reason why is because 6 months from now, maybe this will not work. And if it doesn't work, we will make a new video and update you. Check the date of this video, check the dates of the other videos you're watching, but this is where you saw it first, this is where we came up with it first. So let's get into the specific techniques. What you see here, what I have in my hand, this is the microphone that you're most likely to see in the PTE exam. Now, some of the centers, they updated their headphones because I believe these are not being produced anymore. This is an older model. So some of the newer test centers, they might have a different headset, but in 2020 at this point, this is by far the most common headset, which is the Plantronics, okay? In one of the previous videos, we explained how you should place your microphone. I'm gonna demonstrate it really quickly. You should obviously adjust this to be at the level that you're comfortable, so it's not too loose, and you want to bring your microphone somewhere at the level, at the height of your mouth. So this is the ideal situation. You don't want to have it too close or too far away, but somewhere roughly, let's say a handful away from your mouth and not directly in front of your line of breathing. So let's say you're getting 19 or 17 or 15 or 20 in your pronunciation. What are the issues, first of all? What's causing such a low pronunciation score? It's not necessarily your accent. It's not necessarily how you talk, but it's just the frequency of your voice, unfortunately. Now, this is the most common for girls specifically. Some girls have a very thin and very sharp, very high-pitched voice. So the frequency of their voice is above the normal, above the range that most girls would have their voice. And of course, there's nothing wrong with this for me, or for your husband, or for your brother, or for your mom, for your dad. But this is an issue when you deal with a computer. So what we want to do, we want to bring your voice from that really high frequency, really sharp, right? I can't do this. My voice is not that high, but maybe Justin can do something with the sound. If you talk and your voice goes like a chipmunk kind of voice, really high.
Cannonball! It's just a touch more glitter.
And we want to bring it down a few levels. So here's technique number one. Of course, you're going to have the microphone in that position. Let's say I'm saying a random sentence. Let's say my sentence is, my name is Alex and I'm Canadian, right? Now listen to the difference. My name is Alex and I'm Canadian. 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 If you're watching this video and you got a really good sound system, you can probably see the sound is different. There's like more echo and the sound is like stronger. So if, let's say I'm going to have a weak voice. My name is Alex and I'm Canadian. 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 Now, I didn't speak any louder, but what you'll notice, the voice sounds deeper, right? So this is what it does. The first technique, the first method is you're just going to have one hand like this. And we have to experiment. So sitting at home, it's hard to hear a difference between how you talk. But if you're with one of our instructors, for example, in person, because we've had hundreds of students with this issue, it's easy for us to tell the difference. So you might have to do this, you might have to do this, you might have to close your hand completely like this. But basic technique is you're going to cover your mouth with one hand specifically. Now, how are you going to do this? If our video guy Justin can zoom in, so this is my hand, right? But some people do this. Hello, my name is Alex, I'm Canadian. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't actually help. So what you want to do, you want to bring your fingers close together and you want to just curl your arm a little bit, right? So you want to curl your arm a little bit. And you want to make sure your fingers are nice and tight. There's no space in between. So the best comparison I can give you is when you're scooping water. You go to a river, you go to a lake, you go to a well, and you're scooping water. You don't scoop water with your hands like this. You do it like this, right? So it's almost like a cup. So you're going to do this and you're going to put your hand tight against your face. So there's no space in between, meaning you don't want to do this. This is useless. But you want to put it really up and tight against your face, and you want to almost form like a cup over here. So what happens is the sound rebounds from your hand into the microphone. And again, please don't just randomly try this in the exam and waste your money, because there's a lot of things. Sometimes the mic is too close, you might have to lift it. Sometimes the sound is not clear enough, we might have to adjust your hand position. But this is the basic technique. Now let's move on to technique number two. Now, if one hand didn't work, we need to even increase the sound, but we need to lower the pitch even more compared to the previous one. So in this case, you might have to move the microphone out a little bit. And what you're actually going to do, you're going to use two hands. So I'm not sure if you can notice the difference. Again, I'm not changing the volume. How loud I speak stays the same. My name is Alex and I'm from Canada. 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 Again, the voice is kind of lower, right? It sounds a little bit deeper. Now the problem is because we're covering with two hands rather than with one hand, the sound is more quiet because we're blocking the sound. So in this situation, you need to almost shout. My name is Alex and I'm from Canada and I'm here for my PTE exam. The image in front of me is a bar graph and the bar graph represents the population of people and blah, 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 blah. So you see what I'm doing in this situation, I'm increasing my volume because obviously I'm blocking some of the sound, but I still need to speak loud enough for the computer to pick up. And again, we use different apps, we use different software to measure this and to test how clear your pronunciation is, but it takes some tweaking, it takes some playing around. Now, I know a lot of you guys will have the following concern. So the concern you might have is that, Alex, how can I have both of my hands like this if I need to take notes? Meaning it's very, very uncomfortable. I need to take notes for repeat sentences or for my retail lecture, and I don't want to be touching the microphone all the time. So obviously it takes some practice, but in this situation, one hand would not move. You would keep one hand here all the time, and the second hand, you would, for example, take your notes and then put your hand back. Obviously it takes some practice, takes some getting used to. Don't just try this for the first time in the exam, because that's a very expensive $300-some experiment. So the third technique is basically you trying and practicing to naturally deepen your voice. And that takes some practice, but I've had so many students that were struggling in speaking, and this didn't work, they're still struggling, And the next exercise worked, which is naturally deepening your voice. And I've mentioned it in a previous video, but I want to explain it in more detail. What do you want to use? You want to strain your throat. So what does it mean to strain your throat? You want to almost like pretend that you're walking down the street and somebody stole your phone and somebody stole your purse or something valuable, something precious. And you're running after them in the street and there's somebody in the front that you can shout for help. You're not going to say, hey, help me, help me, help me, right? Nobody's going to hear you, but you're going to say, hey, hey, you know, you're going to have like a really strong voice. You're going to speak from here, hey. Now this is not natural to me, obviously, because my voice is already low enough. But for a lot of girls, this really, really, really works. And you can see, you can watch our student successes and testimonies. We had a lot of students that struggle with this. I'll post some of their pictures and videos below in the links. You can even comment and ask them questions directly. So best thing is to practice first thing in the morning, right when you wake up, go into the bathroom, go in front of a mirror, and just practice these 2 words, okay? The first word is King Kong. And Justin, can you put a picture of King Kong? You know where he's on the building and he's like throwing the airplanes around? But if I say King Kong is worthless, I want to stretch it out. King Kong, King Kong. So see, I'm lowering. Not King, King Kong. Those of you guys that are into Buddhism and Hinduism, I think you have some certain chants, for example. So you chant Om, Om, Om. It's the same thing. Om. The second word is ding dong, meaning when you ring the bell, ding dong, right? But you don't say ding dong. Ding dong, ding dong. And I want you to practice each one of those words 20 times in the morning. Now, what you'll notice is it's going to hurt the first couple of days, but over the course of 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, while you're preparing the other sections, like your reading, your dictations, and so on, your voice is going to get stronger. The only issue with this technique is that if you don't practice it and you don't incorporate it in your daily routine, you might be able to do it for half of your questions in speaking, and then your voice gets tired and you can't do this anymore. So you really need to practice it, especially in questions like read aloud, especially in questions like repeat sentences and retell lecture. You need to be able to maintain that deep voice. My name is Alex and I'm from Canada and I like to eat cheeseburgers and I like to go on vacation to the islands and I like to see different things and this and that. So you see, I'm straining my voice more than normal. And if I kept doing this, I would probably lose my voice by the end of the week. But this is what you need to practice. Now, if you made it this far, the very last technique doesn't involve using your hands in the way we explained earlier, and doesn't actually involve trying to change your voice or your vocal cords. Instead, what you're going to do is you're going to use your biology, your body. You're going to manipulate your body in a way that changes your voice. And for this, it's really one technique, but I'll show you 2 different tricks. The first one is this, and this works for girls better than guys. So as a guy, we have the Adam's apple, right? We have this thing on our neck and it's very painful. We cannot press on it. But women don't have this. So what women can do is you can actually press on your throat. I can't do this because obviously to me it hurts and maybe it's a bit painful, but I had a few students that tried this and they scored a very excellent, very high score. They passed their exam. So what they do is they would just use their thumb, for example, with their hand, which they're not using to take notes, and just the whole exam, when they're doing their read alouds or repeat sentence, and the recording actually starts, they would just press on their throat. Now for me, it's very painful. I can't do this. But let's say you're a guy, I'll give you another equivalent. Another way to do this, and it's gonna look funny, so please don't take screenshots, but it's just doing this. What happens is basically you want to bring your chin down to your neck. And what happens is your vocal cords are like this, right? It's like a tube. But what happens when you do this, the tube becomes constrained. So it becomes, you know, it's like you compress it in a way. So because of that, it changes the airflow. So rather than the air passing clearly, the air has less space to pass. And because of that, the pitch changes. The image in front of me is a bar graph, and the bar graph represents percentage of people in urban areas in 2020. I didn't use a format, but I'm just giving you guys an example. So obviously you see a sound difference, but again, like the previous method, it takes practice. Your voice gets tired. you have to speak continuously for almost half an hour. So you need to practice, you need to obviously incorporate those exercises in your daily routine. And please don't just try this in the exam and waste $300. Have a chat with somebody from our team, text us, we're happy to help out, and at least give you feedback which sounds better. Because sometimes when you listen to it, it sounds like there is a difference, but for us, we've trained the ear that we know it doesn't work. So we need to make it deeper, or we need to make it higher, or we need to make it faster or slower. So this is it for this video, guys. It means a lot to us and to our team. If you click like right now and you click subscribe, this is how we know that this video was valuable, that it helped you, and especially your comments. I personally read every single comment and reply to as many as I can. And the best news is whenever we share free tips and advice and it works for you and you get your score and we get good news. So as a teacher, for myself, for Sumesh, for Shan, and all the teachers on our team, this is the best, seeing people get their scores, get their acceptances, get their registrations and their PR. So leave a comment, like, and I'll see you in the next video.